Sampayetia. Obayan Sapuso Bundia one kana sam. They mafu to some kakrewa supeme. Yo, Kofi, oh my, ya woman.
Lernende im Netzwerk mit Pfarrer Günther. Wir haben heute in Ghana den Pfarrer Dr. Sule-Saa vor uns und mit uns, der von dem im Christian, also der als Christ in CISEA arbeitet. Das ist ein Netzwerk und ein Center für christlich-muslimischen Dialog. Und wir wollen mal hören, was er zu sagen hat. Okay, you can start.
Yes, may the peace of God be with you. I'm happy to introduce to you the Center for Interfaith Studies and Engagement in Africa, for short CISEA. CISEA is an initiative of the church trying to reach out to Muslims, because Muslims are like our neighbors. We need to show them the love of God. We need to tell them what the Christian faith is about. We need to bear witness to them, but we need to also live at peace with them. You know, the mandate Jesus gave to go and make disciples of all nations. He is also the Prince of Peace. So wherever the gospel should go, it should also bring about peace. So Muslims are our closest neighbor. If you look at Africa, the three major religions are the indigenous religion, ATR or primary religions, then Islam, and then Christianity. So we have these three main religions. So it is very common in a family, for example, some are Christians, some are Muslims, some are traditional people. I come from a Muslim background. In my family, some of them are traditional people, some of them are Muslims. My mother is still a Muslim, but I'm a Christian, and some of my siblings and some family members. But what will interest you is, when I was going to marry, almost half the church was full of Muslims. They came to join me to marry in the church. And then when even I was being ordained as a minister, my Muslim neighbors were happy and came to support me that their son or their relative is being ordained into the ministry. So in Africa, when we talk of Muslims, they are not outsiders, they are not foreigners, they are part of us, they are part of the family, they are neighbors. So how do we live with them? Muslims have different beliefs. Some of the beliefs are similar, but some are also completely opposite. So our attempt is to see how can Christians and Muslims live together in peace with our differences, so hold on to our faith. But also, First Peter chapter 3 verse 15 says, have reverence for Jesus Christ in your hearts and be ready to explain to anyone who asks you the faith that is in you, by doing so with love, gentleness, and humility. And that is what we seek to do. That yes, CISEA Christians have a responsibility to tell others what they believe, what the faith is. Answer the question that others will ask us about. People of other faiths will ask us. We need to clearly explain to them what we believe. Not in arrogance, but in love and with respect. And if by the grace of God, some of them want to become Christian, we welcome them wholeheartedly. We don't use force. We don't compel anybody. We clearly and lovingly explain what we believe. And we do that without shame. We do that with confidence. We do that with that mutual love and respect. So what CISEA does is, we go and organize workshops for churches, for Christians and Muslims come together. So some of our programs are only for Christians, that in intra programs, to help Christian people to understand their faith and how to relate to people of other faiths. But some of the programs are also interrelational workshops. For example, in the north, we go there to organize peace workshops. for Christian young men and Christian Muslim young men. They come together.
Okay.
And in fact, some of the schools we have peace clubs involving Christians and Muslims, because we believe that peace is very, very crucial, very, very important. And it takes two people to make the peace. One person or group alone cannot. Just as it takes two people to fight, it also takes two people to cooperate so that there can be peace. And we do this also with the, Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says that how can two people go together unless they agree? So that's why we run these programs, so that we can understand Muslims, what they believe and so on. Then they will also understand what Christians believe and so on, so that we can live together in peace and not in conflict. Because the mandate is not only to go and make disciples, but also Jesus being the Prince of Peace.
Yes.
We should be seen to be at the forefront of promoting peace and good relations.
Yes. When did the center start? When were they founded?
It started first as an Interfaith Center around 2010. But when it moved to Akropong here in 2019. So 2019 we changed the name to Center for Interfaith Studies and Engagement in Africa. First it used to be Presbyterian Interfaith Center. Research and Resource Center. But we now brought it and we have renamed it this way.
And it still needs to be more rooted in the churches. People should know more about it and should be more aware of it.
Yes, it's still very young here. It was inaugurated, as I said, September 11th, 2019. And we intentionally chose September 11th because that was the day there was, good neighborliness was interrupted. And so our theme has been good neighborliness, promoting good neighborliness. Because when good neighborliness is undermined, it's conflict, it's trouble, and so on. But can we choose to promote good neighborliness where we can live together in peace? Because this world needs peace. UN cannot do it alone. It is we all. The church, I think, has a great responsibility to be at the forefront of promoting peace.
Is it a speciality of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana to run these programs, or do other churches in Ghana also have these interfaith programs? The Pentecostals don't really do this.
Yes, other churches don't see that so much. They just think that as for Muslims, what we need is just convert them. But it's not possible to convert all Muslims. Some will still be Muslims. So we should never deceive ourselves that there will be a time when there will be no Muslims. So the best would be explain to them what the Christian faith is about, but it's God who brings the conversion. We cannot compel people to be converted. Yes. But we must do our part to love them, care for them, and help them because of our common humanity. And share, because God has given us this place to share and to live together.
And then there's, is there not also the Pragmura and a more wider network in Africa? Isn't
it? Pragmura. So we are related to the Pragmura. So Pragmura is for the continent, the whole continent. Program for Christian-Muslim relations in Africa. And we do work, as part of them. We are like at the cutting edge. We relate well, and we work with the same philosophy of recognizing that Muslims are our neighbors.
Yes,
and we need to, because we share a lot in common with them, and because of our common humanity, if Africa will know peace, Christians and Muslims must relate well.
Yes,
to be able to
yes. We are now here in the CISEA office, the building in Akropong in the eastern region. And when I was listening to Reverend Dr. Sule-Saa, I remembered one of the workshops which I had taken part as a ecumenical co-worker in Accra, and there were also a number of Muslims who took part, perhaps 40 people, and then 15 Muslims, 25 Christians, and we were discussing practical issues about disturbances because of noise, pollution, and there were practical issues to be discussed in a good spirit. And this was for me quite good, not to talk only about each other, but talk together with each other. And these workshops, I remember they take place at least every quarter, every 3 months or so. And it's also another way to reach out. Yes. So we are very grateful for these explanations, and we can add something later.
Yeah.
Or you want to add?
For example, because we believe that education is very, very important. Knowledge helps. When you don't know somebody, you are afraid of the person. You are suspicious of the person. So that is why we also have the library. We invite Muslims, Christians, they can come in, read, understand. So we have Christian books, we have Muslim books, just trying to understand more of the faith and try to relate and try to look at common issues that affect us, so we can address them as people, stewards, people that God has given us this responsibility. In fact, one of the themes that we'll be considering also will be care of the environment. Care of the environment. We want to see how we can get Christian youth and Muslim youth work together to protect the environment, to like tree planting and try to get rid of plastics and other products, things, I mean, just to let people know that God has given us this beautiful world, and we cannot destroy this world. We need to preserve it, keep it well as good stewards.
Yes,
these are some very important themes that we look at together as
which we both share, the care of the environment. We both religions share beyond any dogmatic differences. We can be united in this one. Apart from other things, which like cultural unity. Here in Ghana, for Germany, it is quite different that here everybody is Ghanaian, and there are two religions. Both are from the same country, whereas in Germany, mostly the Muslims are also most likely foreigners. So this makes it a bit easier, and on the whole, the relations between Muslims and Christians in Ghana are relatively peaceful, you could say. As compared to other countries, like neighboring countries like Nigeria, where it has a more problematic. So we can give thanks to God for this, and the CISEA is putting things into place so that this can remain like this also in the future. So we keep it at this point at the moment, and then add other angles and perspectives later. Yes.
Yamo yembera ye, ebe ya efri yanara.